It's hard to say why, but if you want things to change, perhaps you should consider changing yourself. It's accidental. That perhaps you're becoming a cynical person, or that unhappiness is attracting more unhappiness, or that it is particularly unique. And indeed, the best place to study all laws is in the Bible. Here's what the law of averages states. If you do something often enough, you will achieve a ratio of results, a proportion. And that's a key concept in leadership. Everything has ratios. Now, what do we mean by ratios? It applies to anything. Imagine you've just joined a new company and you're introducing a new product. You speak to 10 people about it. Being new, 9 might say no, but 1 says yes. Already This principle is crucial in sales. We advise talking to numerous people daily and keeping track of your progress in a journal at day's end. This allows you to list what you did and what transpired, enabling you to review and identify areas for improvement and things to maintain or discard. Anyone can initiate such ratios. Even those who initially decline are valuable because they provide an opportunity for you to practice your pitch. In sales, it's not about making a sale right away, but about becoming skilled in salesmanship. You might even consider compensating those who listen to your pitch initially to get the ball rolling. This approach works for everyone. For instance, achieving a ratio of 1 out of 10. Once a ratio begins, it tends to continue. For example, if you talk to 10 people and get 1 yes, chances are high that if you talk to 10 more, you'll get another yes. It's almost magical how consistently this tends to happen. As you repeat this process, you establish a clear ratio, such as getting 1 yes for every 10 interactions. Competition becomes a powerful motivator once you have these ratios established. If you're new and can only secure 1 yes out of 10 while a seasoned colleague gets 9, you can still excel in a sales contest over a month by sheer volume. By talking to more people, you can increase your total number of successful interactions, potentially surpassing someone with a higher success rate, but fewer attempts. My objective is to win, but also to teach others through competition and learning from losses. What I initially lack in skill, I make up for in effort and numbers. Understanding the law of averages allows me to leverage quantity to compensate for initial shortcomings. I'm willing to sacrifice sleep to achieve my goals, working 20 or 21 hours a day if necessary. Now, I can't sustain that level forever, but when I lack skill, I compensate with effort and persistence. All right, now you can start to compete. Achieving 1 out of 10 is a start, and once a ratio begins, it tends to continue. Who can it continue for? Anyone who tries. Here's another key aspect of the law of averages. Ratios can be increased. Isn't that remarkable? You talk to 10 people, get 1 yes, talk to 10 more, get another yes, and as you continue, sometimes you get 2 out of 10. Why does this happen? Because you're improving. Who can improve? Anyone who puts in the effort. That's thrilling, isn't it? Could you persist and work hard enough to raise your ratio to 3 or 4 out of 10? Is that achievable? For anyone. Could you become so skilled that you consistently achieve 6 or 7 out of 10? Is that possible? For anyone. What's truly exciting is that when capacity meets opportunity, incredible results can follow. And you possess all the necessary capacity, surrounded by abundant opportunities. From where you are, there's everything you need to create wealth, fortune, and the lifestyle you desire. Some people might ask, can't you just bring it to me? Well, no, that's not how it works. There's a Bible story that beautifully illustrates the law of averages. The parable of the sower. It's a compelling story about a farmer who sows seeds, and if you haven't read it recently, it's worth revisiting. The sower in ancient times was the one who planted crops. They prepared the ground meticulously, and the sower would walk across the field, scattering the seeds. The story of the sower mirrors life and teaches valuable lessons about expectations and outcomes. When you read it, you'll notice several key points. First, the sower was wise. It's crucial to send someone competent to plant, or everyone would starve come harvest. Second, he had excellent seed, nothing cheap or second rate. Third, he was highly ambitious. Ambition is an admirable quality. The sower then set to work. It's a fascinating story about what happened next, a typical tale of life, yet captivating in its lessons. Initially, some seeds fell on the wayside and were eaten by birds. Despite sowing good seed with ambition and readiness, he encountered setbacks. A common theme in life and among people. Now, is that fairly typical? Let me tell you, as a leader, expect that some of the seed will be taken by the birds. Here's an example. Imagine you're in real estate. You meet John, who expresses interest in a career change. He's intrigued by real estate and agrees to attend an orientation class on Friday night to learn more. You encourage him. envisioning a new path for him to earn well and turn his life around. John enthusiastically agrees, saying he'll be there on Friday night to soak in all the information. You confirm and eagerly await his arrival. However, Friday night arrives, 7:30 rolls around, then 7:45, and John is nowhere to be seen. By 8 o'clock, it's clear he's not coming. You wonder what happened between your inspiring conversation with John and Friday night. Chances are the birds got to him. Perhaps a skeptical friend or family member discouraged him from pursuing real estate. Maybe someone warned him against it, casting doubt on the potential of the opportunity you presented. This scenario is familiar to leaders, the inevitable setbacks and influences that derail initial enthusiasm and plans. Now, if you find out what happened, here's where you might go off track. When the birds snatch the seed, you have a couple of options. One is to chase after the birds, saying, "Those darn birds," and going after them. You might think, just wait until I confront his brother-in-law. I'll set him straight. What does he know about real estate? He's just a plumber. This reaction takes you off course, focusing on straightening things out rather than accepting the situation as it is. The wisest approach in life is to study how things are, not how you wish them to be or how you attempt to rearrange them. It's about making the best of the circumstances as they unfold. Some people prefer revenge over progress, losing sight of their goals. If you're busy chasing birds, you're no longer sowing seeds in the field. Your chances decrease instead of improving. There are some things you shouldn't try to fix. Some things are best ignored. Here's what the wise sower did in the story. He ignored the birds and continued sowing. How insightful. There are situations where you simply have to accept things as they are. So he kept sowing. And here's the key lesson. If you persist in sowing, you can sow more seeds than the birds can snatch away. Birds are part of life's challenges, and sometimes it's best not to question why things are the way they are. It's just the reality we deal with. So the story teaches us that the sower persisted in sowing despite setbacks. The seed falls on shallow ground, rocky ground where the soil is shallow and the plant starts to grow. This time the birds didn't get it, but on the first hot day, these plants wither and die. It's disappointing, but it's bound to happen sometimes. Let's say you recruit John. He shows promise and enthusiasm initially, but misses the third meeting. You wonder where he is, and someone says he's no longer interested. In high school, the freshman class starts with over 400 students, but only around 150 graduate. Is that unusual? Not really. It's the law of averages. People start things but don't always finish. You have to accept that reality, or you'll end up frustrated and confused, misreading life. Sometimes a seed falls on shallow ground and it doesn't say what to do about it. It just is what it is. You might think, I thought John would last longer and feel disappointed. But here's a crucial lesson for leaders. Learn to manage your disappointment. It's easy to give up when others do, but leaders don't follow. They lead. You'll be disappointed, but don't let it overwhelm you. Understand that's life. Now here's what the wise sower did. He kept on sowing. How clever. The story continues. The seed falls on thorny ground and the little plant starts to grow. But then the thorns choke it to death. Is that typical? Yes, the thorns often get some. The Bible calls them cares of life, little duties that steal big opportunities every day. What can you do about it? You might call John asking where he was last night, and he says he couldn't make it because of other priorities. He lists tasks like fixing a fence, managing trash, or mowing the lawn, little things consuming his time and focus, majoring in minor things. Some people let these thorns overwhelm them, focusing on trivial matters instead of seizing significant opportunities. John's out there frustrated with weeds while neglecting bigger possibilities. He's too caught up in minor issues, missing the point. But trying to teach people not to be distracted by thorns doesn't work. What the wise sower did was simply keep on sowing. He understood the law of averages. Keep sowing and you'll find good people who don't need much training. Finally, the seed falls on good ground. How do you find it? Keep looking. You'll recognize it when you see it. Even on good ground, though, the story says some produce 30%, some 60%, and some 100%. That's the law of averages at work. Ratios everywhere for everyone. As a leader, understand these ratios so you can work with them effectively, not against them. Now, I used to teach classes on how to achieve one